Today we are reviewing The Punisher: One Last Kill, which was directed by Reynaldo Marcus Green.
How you doing, brother? Talk to me.
So this was a special presentation from Marvel, which was also co-written by Jon Bernthal, so straight from the source. We watched it last night and it lived up to our expectations. We reacted to the trailer a while back and we're really excited for this. So let's talk about it a bit.
So I'm just going to start it off by saying that I think this was a very, very strong special from Marvel. I think they have truly upped their game recently with Daredevil Born Again and now this. I think they're starting to slowly realise that the key to getting our hearts is slow character, driven work. Because I'm sure a lot of people have said that there's not much going on during this special, but I heavily disagree. I think it's a very impactful it's about mental health essentially. Punisher has gone through so much and it's so good to see the reality of it all, you know?
Yeah, it's done so well, and I have seen some people saying that they're it's a kind of, you can just dismiss it slightly, or what's the word they used? Yeah, I've heard people say that it's missable. I strongly disagree, as like Poppy said. It focuses heavily on mental health. Not everything has to have this big grand story to it.
Yeah.
This was perfect in terms of telling us where Frank Castle is right now as a character. I saw a timeline and saw this was set just before Daredevil Born Again Season 2. So this is kind of just after how we saw him in Born Again Season 1. And it's really sad to see.
It's heartbreaking.
Because it's basically everything Frank's gone through and all of the shows and stuff. He's still where he is right now. He is struggling. If anything, his mental health is worse than ever. And yeah, he's a traumatized, broken individual, and I think this was a perfect representation of where he is and where his character is in terms of the story of the Punisher. It was never going to be he finished killing all the people involved in his family's deaths and he was just going to be cured. He was going to walk out the door with a smile on his face.
Yeah.
The saying, hurt people, and realistically, they do say that revenge is something that you want in the moment, but it doesn't necessarily cure you, and he's a perfect representation of that.
It's a constant hunger that you can't ever get.
Yeah, the woman said in it.
And she was incredible too, actually. The way she was she approaches Punisher as this sweet innocent woman, and the more and more she talks, she really nailed that. That switch up, that dynamic shift where he realizes who she is it's so powerful. It's so important, I think, for Punisher himself to see the repercussions of his own actions. Alongside
showcasing where he is mentally, this film kind of showcased where he is going to go now, where he is mentally in terms of his story, his mission, I guess. With the woman coming up and talking about her family, the loss of her family and everything and what it means to her. And that kind of resonated with him a bit. He's realizing that maybe, he's not really thinking things through. He's doing to others what had done to himself, but obviously he's been able to justify it in his head. But that crucial moment where he has the decision to make of, do I go and pursue this person? Because all he's had for years is just a target and nothing else. He's got his target, that's his mission, nothing will change that. But the way he turned and went to go and help someone who needed help, someone that had done nothing wrong, someone who helped him out earlier.
Yeah.
He chose that. He chose to help other people rather than be fixated in his hatred and revenge. And I think that was a huge turning point for his character. Because instead of this, obviously he's still going to be going through a lot, but other than this very, very damaged, hateful person, that is just fixated on killing any single person that wrongs him in his life. He is now kind of changed slightly,
Yeah.
and has got that more superhero persona. That persona of he's going to now fit into the storyline of the MCU, because he's going to be appearing in Spider-Man, and we obviously know that this show was brutal. Like, this film was brutal.
it was intense. My God.
So yeah, having him in that Spider-Man film is going to be a different level of like intensity. So to have him go basically full superhero mode, where he's now looking like someone who's just out there to help people and isn't necessarily going to be doing as much killing as he did. I think he kind of cleansed himself of that final kill.
Oh,
That was
yeah.
insane. But yeah, it very much feels like he's just changed direction slightly. He's now, like I said, he's more of like in the superhero category. He's gonna be going around trying to help people. He knows he can't rid himself of the violence, but he can try and put it to good use and protect people that don't necessarily have the skill set he has on
Yeah.
the streets, because he lives in a pretty messed up area as well.
Notice as well, like at the start of this show, this presentation, he's ignoring everyone and everything. There's like full-on riots and chaos in the streets, and the first person he really kind of looks at is that young girl who like smiles at him. And I think it's just so important to show that humanity within him and that connection he still has deep rooted to his family and his grief. And I think this turning point is just going to show us like he's going to turn this around now that he's kind of completed his goal and he's lost. I think he's finding his new purpose.
Yeah, no, you brought up a really good point by mentioning the bit at the start where he was walking past loads of people that needed help and
Nothing.
unflinching.
Yeah.
Like, he has his own things in his head and nothing else matters. But yeah, that's a good representation of he's gone from that to turning his back on his mission
Yeah.
to go and help a family out that needed help.
And I bet it felt a lot better.
Yeah, and then he comes out full geared up, and yeah, that arsehole.
Oh my God.
God,
Jesus.
what a instant like most hateable character in like history. Just it was one of those ones that you're kind of glad Punisher
Yeah.
got round to him at the end.
This is a really well like structured little episode. Having that at the start and having you have that feeling of where the fuck is Punisher? We need to get rid of this man on the streets.
Yeah.
And then at the very end, that's the last one.
Yeah,
so
it was
good.
It was really well written. Yeah, whether you call it a feature film or like a long short film.
Yeah.
But it's really good to see John Bernthal writing this as well, like co-writing this, because he is one of the people that's going to understand this character as much, more than anyone else really.
Yeah.
Because he's been living in that character for so long. And it's really good to see where he thinks this character is right now.
Yeah. He clearly knows him very well.
Yeah, really well. So well directed as well. I loved the music, the use of different shots, all the fight sequences were really cool, really like well choreographed and stuff.
The mental health scenes were awesome with all the
Yeah.
different shots of the people in his vision, like they were up close and personal and suddenly they were gone, and it's so good.
It was just I think it was just a perfect representation of Punisher from like Disney and John Bernthal basically going, look, we've got the Punisher now. You had the Netflix show and everything. People have been talking about whether how's Punisher gonna fit in like Disney's MCU and stuff. And they kind of just went, look, this is the Punisher. We're not gonna shy away from anything. This is who he is. This is where he is. This is just them going,
Yeah.
this is your character, Punisher. Crucial part of his story and his life. And now this is where he's going to go off into other projects. I think it was just, perfect representation of his character in that film. It didn't need to have a dramatic storyline. I think it showcased everything we needed to see. His mental state where he is.
Yeah.
Some like very, very sad scenes by the gravestones and stuff.
Yeah.
But his change of kind of mission statement from going from pure revenge and hatred to, you know, just going around trying to help people. Yeah, I don't really know what else to say really.
Yeah,
I think this was a really nice small little package of Punisher.
It really made me miss the show.
Yeah.
The show was one of our favourites, but so glad we had that, and now I can't wait to see him in Spider-Man.
Yes.
So that was our little review of The Punisher, One Last Kill. Let us know what you thought of this little special. Anything that you wish it had more of, or anything that you really loved. Like, we obviously loved it a lot. We'd love to hear from you.
And thank you so much for watching. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. Yeah, we'll have plenty more content for you, and yeah, more reviews, more reactions, lots more to come.